welcome to episode 3 of The Tee-Off. I'm joined by Jarrath Sweetten.
Hey.
Andrew Ferguson.
Howdy, huggers.
And a very special guest, the Women's Australian Disc Golf Champion, Cassie Sweetten.
Hi, guys.
Okay, we've got a pretty big show for you. A couple of live giveaways. We're going to chat to the man behind the Fidget Mini and talk about Australian disc golf and all good things. So sit back and enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
I love that intro. It's just
It's pretty good.
gets me going.
It's growing.
I want to go out and smash
Growing.
putts now.
Courtesy of my good friend Richard Hatcher. Okay, so Australian disc golf. We've had a pretty big month. There's been quite a few events and some big events too. First off, I'd love to talk about the 5-Up on Juan, which was held on the 11th of June.
Which one?
Juan. It was the only Juan in New South Wales.
It takes one to know one.
Very good.
It was held in Rydalmere in New South Wales, TD'd by Luke Turnbull. They had a total player base of 33 people.
Saw the photos. Looked like a big crowd.
BTR event.
BTR event.
BTR.
Okay. Yeah. And we had 6 divisions. The winners were MPO, Todd Nowak, Yakety Yak, won by 1 stroke. Men's advanced, Bruce McNaughton by 8 strokes.
Wow.
Bruce. Does he not just jump division every other day?
He's not doing himself any favours on the ADG tour if he's
gonna
playing
win.
Masters and then playing Advanced.
Can he win 2 divisions? Like, seriously. Amazing.
He's
all-
unstoppable,
it's all
Bruce
in the-
McNaughton.
It's all in the mustache.
It is all the mustache.
Yeah.
It is.
I should know.
Yeah. Women's advanced, we had Emily Cameron by 4 strokes. Pretty convincing. Men's intermediate was Monia Farhadi. He had it by 3.
Solid, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Great bloke too. Love Monia.
He is lovely.
Yeah. Men's novice was Rocky DeGuardia by a couple. And the women's novice was,
Kiari Kookabaney.
thank you, Cassie. 'cause
Bam!
I was
It's a hard
struggling with
one.
that.
It's a hard one.
So yeah, I think it all went well. They did a really good job. Luke, he's a great TD. He's been around for a
TDing
while.
again.
I know.
Luke Turnbull.
The TD Turnbull.
Yeah, it's great. Just a special mention to that Kiari Kookabaney, if I have her name correct. Yes. She's one to watch in the women's scene. So she hasn't. Well, I don't think they've been in Australia that long, but she's just there from ACT. It's her and Prit. She will give the intermediate girls a run for their money. I don't think she was far behind them at ACT Open. So yeah, definitely one to watch.
It's got to be the red hair, whether it's real or fake. It's the red hair.
She rocks it.
I'm not biased or anything. Jeez.
Hey, we've got no soul, so we've got to take what we can get. So yeah, that was the 5-Up on One event. The next one, the big one, the Perth Open, which Cassie and I had the absolute pleasure to attend. It was held on the 17th to the 18th of June. It was on 2 different courses.
It was.
Pindaring.
Pindaring. Oh, that's a new one.
Pindaring.
It's the first event that I've actually played on 2 different courses through, and it was really cool.
Mund pining.
So yeah, it was at Pine Lines, which is a private course owned by Keenan out at Gidgee in WA. Just an amazing course. Amazing course.
And the guys put in a lot of hard work to get that course up to scratch before the event, and they handed away that golden shovel.
Yes, they did.
To Al.
Cheese Monkey Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won it. Well deserved. Anyone who wins that prize is well deserved. They all put in hard work, and it really, really showed. I can't imagine how many millions or billions of pine needles fall on that course every year. But even just walking from one basket to the next tee, if you were going through the forest, they'd blown a path that you could walk through. There was not anything on it. It was amazing. It was spotless.
It was breathtaking. I think even if you weren't going to play disc golf there, it's just a nice, good walk through that
Yeah,
area.
well,
It's
the
pretty-
TD, David Bandy, he said a couple of times, he's like, sometimes we just come up here and don't even play.
yeah.
We just come in and just enjoy it. Just sit around the fire and just enjoy each other's company. Yeah, so it's great. Pine Lines, and then we were out at Mundaring
We were.
Disc Golf Park.
Was it green this time?
It was.
It was green.
Yeah, it was.
So you do believe it
Yeah,
I do believe
yeah.
it.
because you see it.
But we didn't see that. Apparently, I think in spring there's a lot of daisies on the field.
There,
on the
there's
course?
I think there's some native wild. Oh no, you're right. Sorry, there are daisies on
Yeah,
the fairway.
yeah.
there's
And apparently
also
it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except then when you're painting OB lines and then you shoot it with a drone because you think you're going to see the OB paint, but then all you see is just yellow flowers.
Yeah. Pretty though.
Then it's really annoying.
Yeah, I bet. I think the one thing that was a little disappointing was the player total. So they had a registered list of 70 and only 59 players played. So they had a big drop off the week before.
There were a lot of Perth locals that I've seen, year after year after year that just didn't come this year.
Yeah.
And who knows, things pop up all the time. Yeah, it was still the local turnout was incredible.
I think it was the first event I've been to, and I've only known not even a quarter of the field.
Yeah.
Like the Perth disc golf has grown that much since I played in 2010, the last Perth Open I played, and I hardly knew anyone. But it was nice, like people coming up and introducing themselves and wanting to know what was in my bag and what I threw, what were my go-to discs. They made you feel at home. So it was nice to be back.
Yeah, everyone was super lovely. It was a really, really fun special event to be a part of.
Who won?
Who won?
Tell me who won.
The comeback kid, Paddy Robinson.
All right. Well, yes, I did take out the men's open after a horrible first round where I shot 1 over par. Then my next round after that was 11 strokes better.
Crazy. And we're talking Pine Lines. 11 strokes better on Pine Lines.
That's what you get for playing left-handed.
But
Lesson learned.
I think one solid hole for you was the par 4, the windy road.
Yes, the windy road. So in practice, I took a 2. I was under the basket for 2. Now the windy road, for those that don't know it, basically imagine you're in a pine forest and it's Keenan's driveway.
Yep.
Essentially, that snakes like a big sort of S uphill, and then he's just popped a tee up the top, put the basket down the bottom, and then away you go. Par 4. So I do that in practice.
And we're not
Hang on, wait.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. It's a par 4.
A 2.
We are not talking a 5
I'm
metre
sorry.
putt in.
I'm sorry. That is humanly nearly impossible to do.
Not for Patrick Robinson.
I don't believe what that line... I cannot even visualize what that line may be.
I mean, and for those of you at home who haven't seen the hole, it's called Long and Winding Road because it's literally a long and winding road.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, I actually don't know how far it is, but it's got to be at least 140, 50 metres.
Ooh, I
actually
it's longer.
it's about 170 to 180.
Okay, so do we understand now kind of what's going on here?
And this wasn't
You
a
don't have a drop in on a hole like that usually.
it wasn't like a 5 metre putt or a 7 metre putt. It was literally drop your basket in the catcher.
Well, that was in practice. So I thought,
How'd you go in the tourney?
well, in the first round I took a 5.
Let's
only
be
a
honest. That's not uncommon.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard.
Pretty
I'd say.
standard.
I've seen dudes pushing double figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took 5, but
Tosha Frequin took a 3
yes.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Tosh.
birdie.
What a swing
Smash
hole
it.
that can be.
Yeah.
And in the second round, I pulled my finger out and I had about a 10 meter putt for the eagle, and I hit it. So
Bam.
took my 2.
Decent.
Impressive.
So I
Yes.
was happy.
This is why you were the Australian men's champion of last year.
All right, let's all get off, Paddy.
Yeah.
And,
Please,
Please.
let's not pump him up too much.
Yeah. So I took out the men's open. In the men's advance, we had Sven Tangeman, who was a young fella, came out on the scene. Last Aussie Open, I reckon I met him. Not the one just passed, the one before. The first, first.
Oh, he'd been playing for years before that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when
I'm talking a few years, but a couple of years before that.
yeah. I was a bit surprised not see him up in the Open division, but I don't think he's been playing disc too much.
He won by 1 stroke over Keenan. 1 stroke. It was tight.
Yeah. I thought I believe he had a pretty solid lead going into that final round at Mundaring.
Yep.
And then didn't play well. And, Keenan's just played solid and just got pipped by 1.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the men's advance. Women's advance, we had Christina Wilson.
Christina
Bear.
Bear, yes. Now Christina Wilson.
Yes.
Scratch that. Got married.
Got hitched.
Should get hitched.
Shacked up with some Aussie bloke.
And comes out and wins tournaments.
Wins tournaments. So she did very well. Men's Masters, we had Carl
Bellassini. I'll just cut you off then.
Thank you. Grand Masters, we had Mr. Kim Holmes smashing it.
No surprise there.
Always.
Yeah. Men's Intermediate, Adam Lamb. Lovely guy. He came up and introduced himself. Really, really nice.
Those 2 land boys, I'll tell you what, taking over the world.
Yeah, Women's Intermediate, we had Geelong local, Tosh Frequent.
Yeah, Toshi.
Good on ya.
Should have got a little battle against Dahlia.
Men's Novice, we had Kerrod Steele.
Man of.
Yeah. And Women's Novice was Chloe Rizzi.
And as an experience, guys, I mean, you guys went. All in all, the event was great.
Yeah, no complaints. Yeah.
All in all, it was...
The weather was smashing.
The weather was amazing.
Yeah.
We're talking like 23 degrees, no clouds, all sun. I didn't even get sunburnt, actually, which is surprising for me being the pasty ginger. But it was lovely.
Yeah.
No wind.
Great tournament run. Yeah.
Well done to the Perth crew and David Bandy.
Yes.
And a shout out, obviously, to our Mundaring president,
Oh, true.
Jason Brown.
Mr. Jason
JB.
Brown.
Thanks for having us.
Who did put us up.
Yes.
Always a fun time with the Browns.
Him and Susie, thank you.
Hey, it's Darren Staysmith from Aspendale. You're listening to the Tee-Off.
So yeah, the next event we actually had here yesterday,
We did.
which was the Southwest Classic Teams event.
Southwest Classic Teams event.
That was held at Barn Valley Disc Golf Course in Geelong. It was TD'd by the big fella, Hank the Tank Terpstra. We had a total player base of 26 people. And yeah, it was great. It was an Ambrose format. It was all random draw. We had,
Seven teams?
7 teams.
7 teams.
Okay, so about 3 to 4 players per team.
Yeah.
You were basically, each person pulled their own number out of a little thing.
Kelly Poole.
Kelly Poole.
Actually, yeah, there you go. I was trying to get the word. And then they were assigned to that team. So there you go.
So yeah, it must have been pretty even because we actually went into a 3-team playoff.
3-way.
We had
Very tight. Very tight.
What was the score? Was it 12 down or 11 down?
It was 11
He was coming
down.
with 48,
11,
was it?
46.
46.
Oh, 40. Sorry.
46 over 18 holes.
Which really surprised me. I was not expecting that at all.
More or
What,
less.
like
I didn't think we'd have a tie on 46. I thought a 46 was pretty
solid?
smoking, to be honest.
No, I was thinking more winning 13, 14 down. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I was surprised.
But the teams were, there was 2 groups of 3 and 1 group of 4.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yep. And I can say who was in the group of 4. It was myself. It was Taryn Anderson
From Melbourne.
from
Yes.
Melbourne. It was Jacob as well, also from Melbourne. And we had from Geelong Ryan Budge. So that was our 4.
Oh, Budgie.
Good group.
Yep.
Good
Solid group.
Solid group.
There's your 46.
Yes, and my team, runners-up eventually, was myself, Jarrath, and Darren Staysmith from Melbourne, and Tosha Frequent. So we had a group of 3.
Get your freak on.
Very fun group. We were lucky enough. We played the round by ourselves. We didn't have a team to play with, but we had a ball anyway. It was
Yeah.
good times.
Right. Yeah. So we unfortunately got knocked out, my group, in the first playoff hole. As Jarrah said, they got through to the second playoff hole. But who won?
Well, it was my team. We won.
Gosh, Patrick.
So, yeah, it went down. We were on the second hole of the playoff. And my team was myself, Dylan Feldman, and Oscar Feldberg.
Winning everything.
And yeah, Dylan had a solid first drive, and I managed to can the putt. And yeah, it was just great. It's really nice team. You know, you don't get that often in disc golf, that the whole team vibe. And yeah, we really supported each other throughout the round. Dylan had some smoking drives and smoking putts. I missed a few big putts, and he cleaned them up for me. It was pretty awesome. And Oscar had some great forehand drives too.
He can smash it.
Oh yeah, he's going to be one to watch.
Next year, Dylan Feldman, team captain.
Oh, I think he might have to be. Yeah,
I think
the way
so.
he's playing.
I was on that card with you guys. He needs to be a captain.
Fun fact, that's Dylan's second win of the Southwest Classic.
Yes.
He won the first year with me in our team. So there you go. He's,
You want to be on Dylan's team.
dual Southwest Classic champion, Dylan Feldman.
And
On
as
your
Paddy
team.
mentioned, it is a super fun format. I've actually never played it before, and I had a good
Was good.
time. And if you're a disc golf club out there, highly recommend organising something like that.
Mhm.
You know, a doubles, not just a doubles event, but actually a kind of
Teams
team
Ambrose
event.
event.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Groups of 3, groups of 4. It's the dynamic is just crazy different, and yeah, super good fun.
Yep.
I reckon Hank Terpstra has that format down pat.
Yep.
And I'm sure he would be more than happy to share his knowledge on it.
For a small fee.
Yeah, no, it was really a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Heath, and you're listening to the Tee-Off.
All right.
Cute.
Now, upcoming events on the Australian disc golf scene, we have the Queensland Disc Golf Championships. Yeah, it's next weekend, July 8th to July 9th.
It snuck up on us, hasn't it?
It has, came by, very quickly. It's up at Pine Rivers Disc Golf Park in Strathpine in Queensland. TD Aaron Morton. It's the first big tournament he's done, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So well done to him for stepping up.
Mhm.
At the moment, they've got 45 registered players, which is the largest Queensland champs they've ever had, which is awesome.
Well done.
Yeah, if you want to, if you're up in that area and you haven't registered, get on it. If you're heading that way, jump on the Australian Disc Golf website online through their events page or the Facebook page, Queensland Disc Golf Facebook page. There is a registration link through there. Yeah, the Pine Rivers Disc Golf Park. It's a great course. Par 64.
That's what Nationals was.
2014.
14?
15?
I think it was 14.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of fun.
If
Lots
you
of
are
water.
going, take some extra discs with you.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of water.
Because you're going to lose some.
Yes.
It's a good course, though.
Good course.
Very good. Would love to venture back there at some stage.
Let's go.
Are you paying?
Now, our next little segment is the Aussies abroad, where we've been keeping touch on a few Aussies that are already travelling or about to travel on disc golf adventures. So one of the big ones we've mentioned him before. He's a friend of the show, Jordan Wheeler. He's over in the States at the moment, just travelling around, living the dream, playing disc golf. The big tournament he recently played in was the PDGA World Championships. He said it was an amazing experience, even though he didn't play quite how he wanted to. But he said it was a great time.
It's surprising because it was such a lefty course.
Every time.
Every time, Wheeler.
Also, we have Reese Kruger, who departed 4 days ago.
Oh, he departed last Friday.
That's Friday.
Yeah, he's in Helsinki at the moment.
Living it up.
Yeah, he's living it up. He's played the Tully Disc Golf Park.
I believe so.
I
saw a couple of photos on
He's,
Facey.
Yeah.
Jealous much?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be playing. He got a wild card into the European Open.
Yeah.
So our eyes will be on Mr. Reese
We're
Kruger.
watching him. He's playing a lot of disc golf.
He is.
I think he said 10 hours of disc golf in a day.
Come on, Reese. Don't
Reese.
burn out.
Don't just please, Reese. Save
You
a
can
little
do
bit
it.
of your arm. It's got to be attached to your body, yeah, so you can throw.
Although, he's over there. May as well cram it in as much as you can get.
Oh,
Why not?
I did it.
He's a fit boy.
Yeah.
He's been working out.
Yeah.
He goes to the
Don't tell me
gym.
you haven't seen those guns lately.
Have I?
Gosh. Just remember his fan grip, okay? Don't power grip your
Yeah.
mid-range.
Remember,
Fan grip.
remember what we taught you, Reese.
Yeah, so then also we have 5 Aussies travelling over to compete in the Amateur Worlds, which is very exciting. So we've got from New South Wales, we've got Sally Hill and Bruce McNaughton. Brucey, who's probably a chance.
He's
actually.
the highest rated player in his division.
Bruce.
There you go.
Wow.
No pressure.
No pressure at all, Bruce.
Who
There you
wants
go.
a mustache, bro?
That's
I hope
So
he's been growing it out.
he's
extra
playing in
power.
the
Yeah.
yeah, that's how he's getting there.
advanced grandmasters division.
Air mustache. All aboard.
Could hear the wings flapping from here.
We've got Steve Manning and Kim Holmes. Kim goes every year, doesn't he?
He's
No?
been the
Most-
last couple, hasn't he?
I don't know. He's been a few times.
Yeah.
Been a few times? Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely rooting for Kim because
Oh,
he's, I mean, you know, if you don't know Kim Holmes, he has been playing longer than you. That's
Yep.
for sure.
Longer than you were born.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he's one of the originals. He's a WA boy, Perth local, and he is he smashes it.
Yeah.
And he has a rangefinder, and he has lots of things that he takes with him on the disc golf course, including banana guards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he carries a
seen one
banana
of them.
guard.
What are banana
Yeah.
guards?
What's a banana guard?
It's a plastic banana holder that guards your banana so it doesn't bruise in your bag.
I want one of those.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Seriously, if you're not already googling it now, do it.
Wow. We're
Wow.
all here in 2017. Kim Holmes is up there in 2050 just with the banana guard.
But he hasn't performed as well as he would have liked the last few times that he's gone. So I'm definitely hoping Kim comes through with the goodies.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All the
Well,
best,
brings
Kim.
He's a seasoned vet
Absolutely.
at the Am Worlds now. Then no pressure
Yeah.
anymore.
Steely
He's
nerves.
knows what's going on. It'll be
Right.
fine.
And the last one, our local junior superstar, Dylan Feldman, is going over to compete at the Junior Worlds, which we're very excited about.
Newtown local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He I haven't really heard from the other guys, but Dylan he's jumping on Instagram, him and his old man Luke, and they're going to be documenting their journey. So we will be keeping a very close eye on him, and all the best to all the competitors. Exciting times.
All the best, Dylan. Good luck.
Very exciting.
All the best, everyone.
Yeah.
Throw well.
Hi, I'm Dylan Feldman from Wamponds, and you're listening to the Tee-Off.
We've got a bit of a interesting topic to sort of discuss. Could you call it controversial? Maybe not. But it's something that is prevalent in disc golf. It happens a lot. Some people have very, very strong views on this topic and where it should go in the future of disc golf, and that is smoking and alcohol use in disc golf.
I thought you were going to say missing putts.
That's always going to be
That's a
there.
good segment for Fergie to talk about.
Oh, shots fired.
Wow. All right.
Pow!
Here we go.
Below the belt.
Cassie versus Fergie putt off competition next month. Live on Facebook. You heard it here first.
This is truly a sight to behold. So yeah, smoking and alcohol. And smoking could be cigarettes, it could be other things. It happens in disc golf. Now, is this something that, it happens casually, it happens in events? Is this something that we just keep sort of letting happen, or do we kind of crack down on it? What do you think, Cassie?
I think it was a couple of weeks ago, there was a post on Facebook from Jordan Castro. He was at a B-tier event, and someone
So whereabouts in the States?
in the States, the TD got notified that someone was drinking or smoking on the course, and they got disqualified from the event.
Well, I guess it's drug use
Yes, yeah.
during an event. Yeah.
And then his next bit in the post was a person got done drinking or smoking again, and a spotter got handed some illegal substance whilst the round was in play, and 2 TDs were notified during that event, and this person didn't get disqualified. So his thing was, in the PDGA rulebook, it states that no alcohol or illegal substance can be used while playing in a PDGA major event. So,
Well, it's majors and
Sanctioned
now
events.
no national tournament majors and national tournament events. That's the rule at the moment.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure alcohol's across the board.
Yep.
As well as illegal drug use, but cigarettes, I think, are allowed in the lower
Right.
divisions
During the round.
during the round.
Of a sanctioned PDGA tournament.
Wow.
Yep. If it's not a major and not a national tour.
Oh, well, smoke them if you got them.
Look, correct me if I'm wrong. That I
thought
feel
the
like
CTs. I thought
that's what I.
you can smoke in an ADG A-tier event on the course as long as the TD doesn't specify that you are not allowed to smoke on the course.
So TD's discretion.
TD's discretion.
So usually most ADG A tiers are C tier events.
So you can
As in like a PDGA C tier event.
so you can smoke on the course, but you cannot drink.
Oh, well. Geez, if they weren't so expensive, I'd probably...
Yeah, let's take it up again.
Which, each their own. I don't mind people smoking on a course. I don't like it if we're live feeding. Like we live feed Final Nines at our A tiers, at our Aussie champs. I just don't think it's a good look for us as Australians. Trying to grow our sport within the country and seeing that live feed on from who knows who's watching across the globe.
And are you talking about players having a cigarette that are being filmed in that particular tournament?
Even spectators, it's just not a good look. That's my personal opinion. But I don't mind if someone smokes on my card as long as they ask and smoke away from me.
Thankfully, Facebook Live videos are pretty low resolution.
Yeah.
So we've probably got another couple of years before that improves and we can't get away with it.
Yeah. But then again, you can smoke at an 8-tier event, so it doesn't really matter.
We probably don't have that problem here so much at the moment where we're chasing major sponsors and trying to, well, we would welcome them, but we're not actively trying to get huge sponsors, or we don't have massive TV deals where we don't want people to be smoking on live TV. But, sometime down the track that might be the case, and that could be an issue.
Look, I think, if you're talking about spectators, then it's going to be a little hard to police as far as that goes. You look at the Australian culture, you look at AFL, football, soccer, cricket, all those cultures, social drinking is a massive part of it.
Yeah.
It's a routine. It's, in a way, it's a bit of a rite of passage for these people. It's just what's been done. Most sort of football grounds you go to will have a bar. People will go, they will have a beer, or they'll have a beer after the round, or, the dads will be in there having a drink, just watching the game. It's just kind of what's been done. So
But these are the spectators, yeah. These are not,
These are
they're
spectators.
grown men on a football field drinking.
Well,
that'd be quite a talent if you could play footy and drink a beer on the pitch at the same time. That'd be decent.
just seen it done.
Ask Rex Hunt.
Yeah.
He'll be able to-
Well, John Daly.
well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Daly. Yeah. How many times did you see him just with
Lighten
a
up
cigarette hanging out of
guzzle.
his his mouth? It was interesting. I was actually watching an interview with him, and I feel like he actually made some very interesting points that come into a little bit of the way that we look at it. That sort of free-spirited.
What's the social
idea
aspect
of
that
it.
comes along with it?
I'll play you this clip.
You once said, if I could play the tour drunk, I'd win every week. How much do you like realistically believe if you were able to drink, when you were playing, you'd play better?
It's amazing where I would go, wherever I set course records or whatever, I would be barefooted, drunk, playing golf, making every 20-footer I looked at. I used to be able to shoot pool really good when I had a great buzz going. But if you get me sober and play pool, I wouldn't make a ball. I'm not making an excuse to drink or anything because, but when I had a good buzz going, I could play. I thought I could make everything, play really good golf. And I think it's just because the body's so loose and, it's like free,
That's funny.
Wow.
I think there's many a disc golfer out there who's thinking if they've got a good buzz going, they're playing all right.
No alcohol was consumed in the making of this tee-off either.
Okay, alcohol we know in PDGA,
It's a no-go.
it's a no-go. And just in Australia, without having sport in it, if we play in a lot of parks, it's illegal to drink in public places.
Yep.
That's the Australian law. Me personally, I don't smoke. But if I had something that was allowed that was able to make me kind of relax, just chill just a little bit, then and that was okay to be done, maybe I would.
So smoking,
Maybe.
you're saying smoking is a performance-enhancing drug?
Maybe it is. Like he was just sort of saying that, if it how many times do we, when we're on a really, really hot round, when we've played really well, we're like, yeah, I was so relaxed during it. And that's come from us. Like I've still shot hot rounds without drug use or anything like that. It still happens. But I know guys who do smoke and who will smoke during a round because it calms them. Who am I to sort of say, well, no, you can't do that? Like, is that an unfair advantage? Is that just one way some guy deals with it?
You could have the same thoughts about music, headphones. For some people, that could calm them down as well, take their mind off what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I
would call it in the same vein. It's whatever makes you feel better.
It won't kill you, but
Probably a little more healthier
Yeah,
to do.
that's
Headphones
one
won't
thing
kill you.
about smokers, though. You probably won't be competing against them in Grandmasters. Sorry.
So are
fairly
you
morbid,
happy
Andrew.
to stand on a tee pad at an A-tier event with Andrew Ferguson lighting up a durry, blowing smoke in your face when you're
Massive.
about to tee off?
No.
Massive durry.
I think obviously, and this is where I think events and casual play are two completely different things. I've had, when I was in the States, a lot of people smoke marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people there, I found they were very, very courteous. They would always ask, like, one, hey, do you smoke? I'd say no. And they say, okay, do you mind if I smoke? Like, no, that's fine. Just as long as you're not, as long as it's not in my face, then do what you want. And I guess, I can come in with headphones. I know I've been on a card when the music's blaring, you can just hear it. Like, if that's not, that's deafening that person. If that's how, if that's how they are calm. And if it's not near me, if it's not distracting my game, then I'm not really too stressed. But I think when it comes into event play, then especially the big events, when the rest of the world is looking at us, then we probably need to clean up, act a bit.
I think the onus is on disc golfers themselves. Like, where do you want disc golf to be? What do you see disc golf as? Is it just the casual kind of thing where you can smoke and drink during an event? But mind you, smoking and drinking are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
So drinking, straight up to me, is just no. I mean, come on, like you can't be.
No, you can save that for till after the round.
Exactly. Yeah. So probably my. I mean, when I'm talking about this, I'm really talking about probably smoking. Where do you want it to be? Where do you want disc golf to be? Like do we see anyone in any sort of professional sport having a cigarette whilst they're performing? Cricket, football,
No.
NFL, NHL.
Not that you see.
No, not that you see.
Not that you see.
And disc golf is a different kind of format. You're not on a field in front of 50,000 people. It is a slightly different beast in that sense. What do you want disc golf to be?
Casual and event play. If you're casually doing it, you're going to get guys, I've heard people getting annoyed, not even talking about this, but they get annoyed that they have to wear shoes during an actual event. Yeah. And that was specified in some Australian events. Guys, you have to wear shoes. Oh, okay. Guess it's getting serious now.
But there's different levels too. So, I mean, you will not see any top-tier professional disc golfer on any that gets covered through the major sort of social video channels. No, none of those players are going to be drinking or smoking or doing anything like that during their round because they're professional athletes.
It's their job.
The cream is rising to the top.
look at it this way, and we're talking about events and obviously casual play being two very, very different things. Even if you're having a league day and you rock up with your 10-year-old son and they're playing on a card with someone who's smoking a cigarette.
It's not a good look.
Okay, maybe the parent's not a non-smoker. The child, obviously, being 10, probably not a non-smoker.
You'd hope not.
How does that frame the sport? And this is not a PDGA or ADG event. This is a casual,
cool.
even league day.
If I was the parent, I would be with the child because I have to be, and I would just ask them to please not smoke around my child. Simple.
Okay.
And if they're going to be difficult about it, then I'll just pull my child out and not play. Simple as that.
Comes back to the person who's smoking. They should be respectful enough of the people on their card, whether it be a league day, an A-tier event, a major, to either ask or pull themselves away from the situation.
Yeah, I think people are... There's probably not too many people around now that don't have the common sense to do that. I haven't encountered anyone that's as rude enough to be as blatant about it and just smoke in everyone's face. Not in my disc golfing time, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I think we have to look back on it too. A lot of people play disc golf as a hobby as well in Australia. There's a handful of us who take it, more serious, and we're there to win. We're there to compete. We want that bit of respect. So be it. At the end of the day, each and everyone they're allowed to do whatever they want to do as long as they are respectful of the people around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a big social scene in Australia, at least in the Australian disc golf community, where there's a lot of drinking and a lot of there's a lot of smokers and all that sort of thing. So, and that goes along with that social side of things. Mostly after events, and you've just finished 18 holes, and it's nice to crack open a cold beer after you've had a tough 18 holes, and that goes along with any other major sport in Australia where drinking is a major source of fundraising for most sporting clubs.
Yep.
So your local cricket clubs, your local footy clubs, you get your spectators come along. They sell, they'll sell cold beers and food and stuff like that, and that helps clubs to grow. So we can't cut it out completely. It's just the appropriate way of handling that on the course that we have to be careful of.
Do you think it would be fair then to say any event, because we're at such grassroots in Australia with disc golf, we are, that anyone who plays at this point in time, they're an ambassador for the sport. Do you reckon that's fair to say?
Absolutely. I think there's a huge amount of responsibility on every disc golfer.
Yeah.
Just like the sport itself, you're throwing plastic discs fast in a public park. You've got to be responsible, and that stems from being literally playing the sport itself right through to behaving in a decent manner.
Well, obviously casual rounds are casual rounds. Everyone needs their release. But when it comes to events, you ban it. Smoking.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I really don't think, given that smoking is so expensive these days, I really don't think that in the future, if it continues to increase and rise as much in a rate that it has, lately, then it's probably not. It's going to be a minority down the track anyway. So I think the smoking side of things may not be around down the track, but I most certainly, during events, maybe we could look at cutting that out. But there's no reason to completely cut it out. After they've completed their round, it wouldn't be difficult. But I honestly don't think that it's a massive issue as long as it's dealt with well, and you have good etiquette, and you ask the people in your group, and you make sure you do it the right way and stay away from people if they're they don't like it, and you dispose of your rubbish correctly. I don't think it's really a big deal.
Hello.
Is Paul Arden there?
It is indeed.
Mr. Paul Arden, welcome to the Tee-Off.
Hello, Paul. It's
Thanks.
Fergie.
Oh, hello, Fergie.
G'day,
Thanks
Paul.
for having me.
Jazz here too.
Oh, and Jazz too.
G'day, Paul. Cassia.
That's a full house.
It's a full house.
Sure is. And you just joined it.
So, we're joined by Paul Arden, who has been on the Australian disc golf scene for quite a while now.
Old man Arden.
Old man
That's
Arden.
what they call him nowadays. No, that's not true. He's 58 years young.
Well, he's very well known in the Australian disc golf scene, but a lot of people, if they're listening or tuning in from around the world, probably know him and don't actually realise that they do, because he has popped up.
Oh.
He's quite famous. They probably know his silhouette sooner than they know his name.
This is true.
This is true. It was a photo taken by Fergie.
That's true. It was.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yep.
maybe back in 2000 and... Geez, it must have been 2006 or 7. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more. It is of you.
Yes, at Whittlesea Disc Golf Course, except it's not actually on the course.
Where was
it?
the photo
On the
taken?
driving range?
I was just on the hill where there was that good view of the sun. So we'd just finished hole 9, and Fergie decided to spend about half an hour having me pose for shots and throwing discs into nothingness.
It's the moon landing all over again. We just faked it. They're all suckers.
Yeah, the silhouette was made from there, and it has taken off since. I think there's a bit of a collection going of where it keeps popping up. It's literally been all around the world.
Pretty much.
As far as I know, there's only one legitimate place that showed up, which was the one place that asked Fergie for permission, and that was the cover of the last issue, the final issue of Disc Golf World magazine, before it went out of publication.
Yeah.
That's right. I think, what year? Was that 2000 and... I can't even think of when that was. Was
Have
it
to be
2007?
7 or 8.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Something like that.
But you've popped up in many forms since. And on many trophies and on many websites and on many posters and you name it.
And we're talking
Banners.
big trophies here too. Like wasn't it the 2015 Worlds? Was that at Pittsburgh?
Oh, yeah.
If you're at home, Google like, I think Paul Macbeth was the winner because I remember him holding the trophy, and I'm pretty sure it was the Worlds held in Pittsburgh. There's Mr. Sexy Arden putting away, right on the poster that on the trophy that Paul's holding.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. You've been held.
You've been
by
touched.
disc golf royalty.
That's probably the silhouette's pinnacle.
Well, he has been forever. He's on the T-shirt of the dude, the Arden polo.
Oh, that's true.
Put a
I don't have one of those yet either.
Oh.
There you go, Chris.
Are you listening?
Of dude clothing.
You should definitely get one of those. Maybe we can have a chat to Chris about that. Get one sent out to you.
Wonder if, I'm sure they're a good fit.
Well, that's all we've got time for tonight.
No. So what we have asked you actually on here to chat about, Paul, is the fidget minis. Now, those who are not shy to social media have probably, or have kids, have probably seen the fidget spinner craze just take off. They literally do nothing but spin.
They're kind of satisfying.
It is.
I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just take Ritalin.
That's one option.
But so Paul has he's a bit of a fan of the old 3D printer. Decided that he would make a fidget mini. Tell us a bit about it, Paul.
So actually, it started on Facebook. Funnily enough, I'd just been posting random stuff that I'd been printing, and I happened to post a fidget spinner, basically saying that, this is something that's almost compulsory. If you own a 3D printer, you've got to print a fidget spinner. That's pretty much what everybody ends up doing at some point when they've got a 3D printer. And I just thrown a picture up of that. And actually, it was Reese Kruger who made a comment that you should put one of those in a mini. So I got to give him some credit for planting the idea in my head. And there was a little bit of back and forth in that chat on Facebook about how it might work. But after that, sat down and sort of started thinking about how I might be able to design one, and pretty much had a prototype more or less the next couple of days. But that was quite a while ago now, actually, and had been working since on refining it, but put out the pictures of the prototype and people sounded fairly interested in getting them. So I figured, why not actually make them for people? And since they're 3D printed, I don't need to spend a lot of money injection molding and things like that. Obviously, the numbers that we're sort of expecting to sell are not huge, but with 3D printing, we can just make them on demand. We don't have to waste a lot of plastic and things like that, and we can also make custom ones and lots of different colors and that sort of stuff. So it's basically an excuse to combine disc golf and 3D printing into something interesting.
Oh, that's awesome. I know I put my name down for one. I have been following Fidget Minis on Facebook, and I've noticed you posting all the new colors that you're coming out with, and I'm got to say I'm getting pretty excited.
Yeah, and you've been through a couple of stages of development too. I hear you've employed some quite reputable testers to get feedback. Some
experts in the field.
Yeah.
Nothing like a bit of R&D from a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
exactly.
They'll tell you straight up how it is.
Yeah, we've incorporated some of the changes already, actually, that were suggested there. The one that's proving the trickiest is the finger pad. So that's what I'm working on right now. If you look at a lot of these fidget spinners, they have a sort of concave finger pad, so it sits fairly nice on your finger. That's actually pretty tricky to do with the 3D printer. Our original ones were just flat, and in order to get them out the door, we might have to go back to that because it's proving pretty difficult to get it to be with like the concave part in it. So that might be something for version 2 that we put out there. But we're also investigating, you can buy pre-made metal finger pads as well. So we maybe have a look at those and see if those do the job. Because those have the right shape and everything in them. So I think, we're going to get V1 out the door. We want to get them in people's hands and start using them and playing with them and giving us some feedback on what they want to see. So on that front, we should be very close now. I think if I've got one more thing I'm trying to do with this finger pad, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to just switch to the flat one and start churning them out because everything else is ready. Keen eyes might have noticed that there was a screenshot posted on Facebook of our little monitoring system for the production pipeline, and it had a name of a file in there, and it said V6, version 6. So we've actually been through
Tony Stark
6 design iterations already to get to where we are now. So it's had quite a few little minor tweaks and changes just to get it working right. The first one I made, I sort of stuck it together and the bearings just fell straight out of it, so that wasn't much fun.
Happens every time.
Had to change that. And yeah, I'm no industrial designer or anything, so this is definitely a bit of a fun exercise for me, just for something to do. But it's been an interesting journey.
It looks good in my bag, so I don't mind.
So with all the colours, you mentioned all the colours and stuff. So that's one of the nice things with the 3D printing actually is people might not know that the raw material that you use is basically a plastic filament. Like it's basically a thick string of plastic that you have coiled up, and that's what you feed into the printer to get out the stuff. And there's literally thousands of different filaments out there on the market. So some of them are all sorts of crazy things, like you can get them with carbon fiber in them, with speckles, with granite, all different colors. I think I've got one there that's got beer byproducts in it. You know, there's all sorts of crazy stuff.
Wow.
Delicious.
And
My money.
so I'm in a couple of clubs actually where they send me a sample of different filaments every month. So what they do basically is they just send me not a whole thing of it. They just send me like 10 meters of it. And I've specifically designed the Fidget Mini so that it can print within one of those samples. So
Excellent.
what we're going to have is we're going to have a set of standard colors that you can pick from. And if you pick one of them, they'll be colors that I've just got lots of raw material for so that I can make them whenever you need them. But then for the samples that I get from filament manufacturers every month, we'll just make one-offs of those and put them on the store. So there'll be basically a whole bunch of special ones that we only make one or two of that we stick on the store that people can get as well. So if they want something a little bit different, they'll have access to that.
Limited edition. Love it.
I like that.
So,
So you've even built in some sort. I'm looking at it now. You've got some sort of engraving, not an engraving, but an emboss symbol?
And
I
I
was impressed by that.
That's our seal of authenticity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fidget
That's how
mini
you know
logo.
it's from,
That's
That's
so
how
you know
it's
it's
from us.
legit. Yeah.
I'm sure this isn't going to be the last fidget mini, like the last people to make fidget minis, but some of you might have already seen there's another company they do custom minis, and they've also started putting bearings in theirs and having little spinners. They actually make some really cool resin casted minis by hand, hand painted and everything, quite intricate. I think that's United Chains Disc Golf. They have some really nice stuff. They do basically everything looks like it's one-off stuff. But of course, we can do it custom as well. So if anybody wants something really specific, they can get in touch with us, and we can see if there's something we can make for
How
them.
do they get in touch with you, Paul?
Facebook at the moment is the easiest way. If you look for Fidget Mini on Facebook, you'll find us and you can message us, and we can talk to you about whatever you might want. In terms of the actual selling of them, basically the store is in progress. It's almost ready. We have to take a few photos so people know what they are. But other than that, the store is almost ready. So I'm hoping in the next week or two, we'll be able to make that live. We will send out the email to the pre-registered people a little bit earlier than we announced it on Facebook, maybe a day or two earlier. So the people who have signed up for the email will actually hear about it before everybody else. So definitely get on that list if you want to know.
And how can people
immediately
register for that list? What's the link to that?
Yes, there's a link on the Facebook page, or I think it's also if you go to gimme.fidgetmini.com.
Yep.
You'll get access to the mailing list.
Sounds great. Well, jump onto those links. We might even share the fidget mini on the actual Tee Off Facebook site, and if you want one, guys, jump on and check it out.
Put your name down.
Put your name
Just
down.
to ensure too, obviously, there's all about disc golf at the end of the day, but they have been designed specifically to fit the PDGA technical standards for mini marker discs.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Paul. Thanks for telling us about fidget minis. Aside from that, you have been around the disc golf scene for a while, so we did have some other questions for you. What's been your most memorable moment in disc golf?
I think for me, actually, that's probably going to be something selfish because, rather than sort of experience something in the disc golf community or something like that, I've got to say, for me, it's things like, teeing off from top of the world in De La Vega in the US. Holes like that where you just stand at a hole and you just look at it and just think, wow. Thing with De La was that, I had no idea, but people just kept telling me, there's this great hole, this top of the world hole, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, okay, well, it's interesting. When I get there, though, that was pretty crazy and very, very nice hole to play. You just throw a putter, and you almost not even throw it, just drop a putter off the top of that and get down to the basket. But but I think for me, seeing new courses is always the most memorable, especially some of these spectacular courses that they have in various places in the world, and now obviously more of which we're getting in Australia finally.
Nice. Cool.
Now, Paul, of all these courses that you've played, you've thrown, maybe just a handful of discs, I'd imagine. You might have a few in plastic tubs tucked away in the house somewhere. What is your favourite disc?
I think everybody on the podcast already knows that.
Can we say it all at once? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Classic rock.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not a
we hadn't pre-planned that communal response. I was hoping it was going to be classic rock, and I didn't look like the fool.
And this
so
is,
I like all.
Yeah, this is
I
not
like
a
all
podcast
rock.
about rock and roll, by the way. We're talking about the disc. Tell us about it.
I don't think I ever met a rock I didn't like, to be honest.
Well said.
I've got, I think, 6 in my bag right now. That's a lot of approach discs to have in your bag, but that's probably the stronger part of my game. But the rock and the Gator are the 2 discs that I really like a lot. And I think there's a lot of other great discs. It's just those seem to be the ones that are always getting me out of trouble or doing something great for me.
All right. Nice. You're a rock. Okay, last question. So, Paul, you're stuck on a desert island, and you can choose one out of these next 4 things to have with you.
Oh.
Okay.
It's tough.
You can have a 3D printer, a burger from 8-Bit, your wife, or a first-run rock. What do you choose?
My wife, of course.
Good
Well
answer, Paul
said.
Arden. Good
Well
answer.
He passed the test.
So obvious.
I thought
passed
you.
the test.
I thought you were
obvious.
going to say the burger from 8-Bit.
I should have said a donut. Oh. Yeah. All right, cool.
And I just before we, I don't know if we're saying goodbye to Paul yet, but just before we go, I thought might just do a little bit of fan love on the boy and just let, for those who don't know Paul out there in Australian disc golf, and if you don't, you may be new, and if you've been playing for a while, then you've been clearly living under a classic rock.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. But Paul has been, I mean, I don't know, I'm pulling these stats out of my bottom, but Paul, to me, has to be probably the longest serving ADG board member
Definitely.
that I know of. It's got to be, there's what, 10, 12 years there of being on the board in his role of director of competitions, the PDGA liaison. He's just been TDing events since the get-go, and he was there when we all kind of probably got into the sport. So it's been there a while, mate. And thank you for being you, Paul.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Paul.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Well, no, thank you for being you, Paul Arden, and thanks for joining us on the Tee Off today.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
See ya, Ards.
Bye,
See you, mate.
Arden.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Lily Sweetten from Geelong, and you're listening to the Tee-Off.
We are live on the Tee Off for our live giveaway. We are giving away a brand new Trilogy Challenge Pine. I hope you're pining for it.
Can you smell it? Can you smell it?
I can.
So fresh.
To the first caller, starting from 8 o'clock.
You can win this.
We're almost there.
Don't call
We're almost there.
Oh,
Don't call
oh,
early.
we're seconds away.
Seconds.
And if you do, you'll be a nuts.
Come on. No, we're not there yet. 7:59.
This last night.
With Sarah Loft from Queensland
Sarah Loft, and we have
and Oscar Felberg.
Felberg.
Not Dave Felberg. Oscar Felberg.
What did they win?
They won an AVR3, just like this.
But what are they winning this week?
Oh, it's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's 8
It's 8 o'clock.
Okay, we're expecting a call any second now.
Oh, we have a caller.
First caller. Hello, you're on the Tee Off.
I am indeed. I hope so. How you doing, boys? Casper here.
Is that Casper Carr Howard?
That is Casper Carr Howard.
Oh, the Geelong local.
He's quick on the dial.
He is quick on the dial. You have won a new West Side Disc Pine.
Yeehaw! Well done.
Congrats.
I was waiting for it. I was quick. I was amped. Sussed it out. I watched that clock tick over.
Good job, Cass.
Casper, we just want you to hold the line, okay? Because we're going to open it up to the next caller. Ooh.
We've got a few calls coming
Yeah.
through. It's going to be hectic on
next-
Paddy's phone.
The next caller, who's going to be?
Come on, next caller.
Next caller wins the bonus prize.
Yes.
And it's a
Casper has won a disc.
Casper?
But
and this next prize is pretty
What's
special.
the next prize going to be? Call in now. Oh,
who's going to be?
I think there's been a couple of people
Come
who've
on.
called, but
I like
you
having a
missed it.
bonus.
We've missed the call, but call back now and you will win a bonus prize. Oh, Spencer's killing me. It's just killing me.
Show me the bonus.
Oh, here we go.
We have a caller.
All right. We'll put you on hold. Hang on.
Hey,
Hello. You're on the Tee Off.
How you going? It's Ryan Nicholson.
Oh, Ryan. Hi.
Ryan Nicholson from Mount Gambier. How you going, mate?
Very good. How are we, guys?
Very well.
You-
Very well. Thanks for calling in.
You're our next winner.
You are our next winner. Ryan,
The next winner. Cool.
have you heard of fidget minis?
I have, yes.
You've
Oh,
won.
pretty cool then.
You've won a coupon to buy a fidget mini online when they get released.
Okay.
There you go, mate.
one of Australia's
Cool.
first.
One of Australia's first.
Cool.
Big thanks to Paul Arden from Fidget Minis, who sponsored that prize, mate. That's all yours.
No, well, thanks, Paul. No, that's excellent.
We'll just stay on the line. Have we got both our winners here?
This winner's here. Yep, I'm in.
You are both winners, Casper and Ryan. You have both won. Well done. Courtesy of the Tee-Off. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tee-Off. Awesome boys and girls.
Well done, guys.
Woo! South Australia coming in. All right. Thanks for calling in, guys, and congratulations. We'll be in touch soon to get those prizes out to you.
Thanks, Tee-Off crew.
Okay, now before we got recording this evening, we did put out a post just to ask to the Australian disc golf public whether they would like us to discuss anything. And Brian Holden, after about 5 different posts, we've decided we would like to share the story of our first aces, if we can remember them.
Stop
it.
Stop it.
I think, Fergie, you can lead us off, mate.
All right. First ace, Queenstown disc golf course.
New Zealand.
Yeah, Queenstown, New Zealand. And this is 2006. Yeah, 2006.
Wow.
Yeah, a few years ago now.
Newbie.
A complete newbie. I'd only been playing for about a couple of months. First discovered the sport, went nuts, got all these discs. Yeah, go down and play every day. Went down there by myself. Hole 10, I think it was. Hole 10. Yeah. And it's along this. It's a beautiful course there, by the way. Mm-hmm. And this particular hole is in the woods, in big tall pines. Follows a road, just a long sweeping left turning hole, and smashed my pink star Firebird down there. Double skip ace.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I weed a little bit. Massive, just first skip, bang, and then second skip, smash, and I was a happy chappy.
Nice.
Good fun. International too.
Yeah.
Cassie?
Mine was 2012, Ruffy Lake Park. Hole 1 in warm-up before league. Ace.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a Japan Open stamped 2008. Innova Nova, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's Nova. I know that.
Yeah.
One.
Nice.
Solid, good fun hole to get that on.
Yeah, just highs line in.
Bit of elevation. Not the
Short
longest hole, but still a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, if King is listening, mate, you need to come over and just bring your bag.
King.
I think. Yeah, I cannot remember my first ace, but I do remember the first disc that I was ever given was from Andrew Ferguson. It was a pre-Avery Star Destroyer.
Can I have it back?
No, you cannot, because it was the most amazing disc. I loved it. And I said to myself I wouldn't take it out of my bag until I aced with it. And I was at hole 9 at Bowen Valley. And I think, Cassie, you were there.
Yes, I was.
And I just threw this nice little straight forehand. And, yeah, it just went straight into the chains. And there was a walker, an old fella with his dog who's just always there. You know, every evening we play, he's there. He's walking his dog. And he happened to witness it, and he came up to us and he said, "Oh, mate, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen." I was like, yeah.
Why am I always with you when you ace? Not fair.
You're my calling.
Oh.
You're my calling.
I am the germ.
Yes, that one felt pretty good. So that's now on my wall, that disc.
Now, I've been struggling to rack my brain to remember what my first ace was, because you'd think I would remember one of the greatest moments that you have. But I have just remembered our very own Bowen Valley disc golf course on hole 2. And I do actually remember it quite well now that I've referenced my calendar notes. My good friend Andrew Ferguson was with me. And I do remember throwing it in and watching it go in and being in disbelief And then but that visual has been erased from my memory, and the only memory that I do have is of Andrew jumping up and down like an idiot in front of me. And I actually had to go home and I actually had to draw a picture of him just to remind myself of it was so vividly ingrained in my brain that that was it is coming back to me. And I do remember the disc now. It was a Millennium Plastic Orion LF.
Wow.
What?
Orange with purple stamp, and I still have it.
I remember that
Nice.
disc. And when was that? Do you remember
It
date
was-
wise?
I know the exact time.
Oh
It
gosh.
was at 2:23 p.m. 23 on hole 2, but I do not remember the date, unfortunately. Oh no, I do not.
It was a league day, so you'd be able to pinpoint
It
that.
was
at
a
some
league
point.
day.
Wow.
It's funny you say,
Oh, hang on,
Jazz, that
March 4th, but I do not know the year. I could go
2012?
back and roughly, maybe a bit. That was a good one.
it's funny you say how you just wanted to remember Andrew's reaction. There's been a few ace moments that I've witnessed that I can still just picture things. But the best one I think is Paul Arden. I remember we were at we're up at a Melbourne League Day, and they had done a temporary. They set up a course at
Bandura.
Bandura.
Yes.
Yeah, Bandura.
Yeah, and it was
The old
this
gorilla.
stupid like
Wow.
it's basically this massive tree in front of you, massive tree, and you just had to throw this crazy hyzer bomb around it. And it was kind of at this point as well where a lot of cards were kind of all close to each other, and Paul Arden steps up and just throws it straight in, and I can still I know exactly his tone, but it was just this. Oh yeah!
Yes.
It's still amazing.
It is funny. Yeah, you remember the funniest little things.
Yeah. Amazing.
That's great.
Okay, we got just before we go sort of any further, we got a little bit of a shout out as well with these public topics. Taron Anderson did comment, and he wanted us just to shout out for the next Melbourne Disc Golf Club's league event, which is the first time it will be held in Aspendale. It's just a push at a permanent course there. I think they're pushing it quite hard.
Potential. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Darren Stay-Smith
Yep.
has pushing that one, set it up. It will be held on July 15th. Yeah, so they're doing it. It's great. They're going to do a little come and try session beforehand, which is between 9 and 11. 11 to 12:30 is registration, lunch, bit of a putting comp. 12:30 is their players meeting with a 1 o'clock p.m. tee-off. Just check out the Facebook page for more details, which would be is that the smug line?
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Gosh.
Oh, look out. Should we get it?
Go.
Yeah,
There you
go.
Hello, this is Smug Butter. Fact number 29. Disc golf was invented in 1932 by me. After being served a substandard meal, I threw the dish at my butler. It missed his face and hit the chandelier. Laughter ensued and disc golf was born.
Oh my god. Who is this guy?
Why does he keep calling?
Oh
man.
What a crazy man.
What a crazy bloke.
Jeez. Oh, smuggy.
Bit of a smug prick, isn't he, really?
Anyway, next up, we're going to do another little giveaway, which will be in the form of a quiz.
That was Price is Right.
Yeah.
So how?
I think I might have done that last month.
Larry Emder.
Like, no, this is the first time we've done it. So yeah, how it's going to work? We have three
That's
people.
the second time I've done that.
We have three of us in the actual studio today, and each member is going to they have their own disc golfer that they will be representing for this quiz.
How did we find them?
We found them through people liking, commenting, sharing, anything that the Tee-Off has produced. Like whether that's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook. If you like, share, comment, you go into this draw. We will be doing this quite regularly.
Yeah, so like our posts. I guess that's the rule of thumb.
Share the page.
Yeah, and you've got a chance to win. Easy as that. So yes, I have 8 questions here. Some have a couple of little bonus questions. We'll make it pretty short and sweet. How it will work, your buzzers, you're going to have to call out something, completely random or something related to your actual person you're representing. Have a little think. You can have a little think. While you're thinking about that, let's see who you will be representing. So, Fergie, you have
Matt Adams.
Matt Adams.
I wonder what my little buzz is going to sound like.
Jarrath, you will be representing
Dan Wynn.
Oh.
Yes, we will.
From Canberra. Ooh. Yep, you know we
Dan
will,
for
mate.
the win!
Yep.
And Cassie, you will be representing
Taryn Anderson from Melbourne Disc Golf Club.
Oh, Taz.
There you go. Right. Congratulations, guys. You will be represented here. You all got a chance to win. Let's see who is going to be able to answer all the questions.
Can we test our buzzers?
You can test your buzzers.
I'm
You've
dying
got-
to test my buzzer.
Right, Fergie, what's your buzzer going to sound like?
Madams.
I'm going to go with chicken dinner.
Yeah, I like it.
And Cassie?
Mine's going to be Whip It,
Oh, yeah.
Whip it.
Yep. Why is that?
Whip it good.
because they love Whippet dogs.
Oh, okay.
The greyhounds. Whippets.
Insider knowledge.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
Whip it
It's
good.
it's got to be fair. It's got to be fair.
It does.
All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
We've got 8. So we've got, just again,
I
it
need to
is,
sit on the edge of my seat.
what are the buzzers?
Madams.
Chicken dinner.
Whip It.
All right. Like this. It's going to be tough to call. Okay. Question 1. Which disc golfer famously impersonated Ken Climo?
Chicken dinner.
I think Fergie had that.
Gregory Barsby.
Oh.
And there is a bonus question with this. Who posted /
Madams.
No, you get to answer anyway because you got it right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Just chill out.
Oh, so it only goes to me.
Okay. Only goes to the winner.
Oh, God. The rules.
Hey.
Okay.
It's the first time we've done this.
It is the first time
The
we've done
first time we've done this.
Okay.
So
Okay, it's just, all right, all questions are up for grabs.
Open.
Okay. Who posted and filled the
Chicken
video?
dinner.
I didn't even hear the question. God, you guys.
I got it.
Seriously.
I was at least waiting for it to finish. All right,
Jarrath.
Murder Mike.
Oh,
so
there
had
we go.
that one.
I had no
So had
idea
that
about that one.
There we go.
Hey, does the bonus question just get the same amount of points?
Yeah, it's all 1 point.
Okay.
You're,
Good,
you're
good.
1 point.
Don't be greedy, Jarrath.
Okay, this is a yes or no answer.
Back in the game.
Would Kim Holmes be able to play disc golf if he lost his
Whip it.
rangefinder? Cassie.
No.
Wrong.
Damn it.
See, there is trick questions.
It's like a 50-50.
Gotta be on your toes.
Oh, good one, Kim
minus
Holmes.
1 point.
No, opening it up.
Beg your pardon?
Chicken dinner.
Oh, no. He did say Madams. He did say Madams.
I didn't even hear what you said.
I don't
Yes.
know about that one.
No.
But I was all over that. Don't even worry about it.
I feel
What's
robbed.
the answer, Fergie?
Yes.
Yeah.
My God.
Question number 3.
Oh, God.
What is Nate Sexton's preferred forehand disc?
Chicken dinner. The Firebird.
That's
Actually-
what I was
actually-
looking for.
I would have said it would have been the Excalibur.
No.
Well,
it's-
there's many things you could say. It's
The-
an
Just
orc.
because his signature disc is...
No, it's what he's that's his go-to at the moment. It's the Nate Sexton Firebird. Number 4. What is Nate Doss's beer company?
Whippet.
Cassie.
Is it Bevel? Bevel. Bevel.
Okay, I
can't pronounce it, but that's the word.
Chicken dinner.
I'll give it to you, Cassie.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was Bevel.
Bevel.
Yeah.
Bevel.
No, Bevel. As in
Bevel?
that's a Bevel
Bevel.
edge disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has ADG membership number 4?
Whippet.
Cassie.
Is it David Bandy?
No.
Madams.
Ooh.
Fergie.
Can I
Harvey Yarnell?
Chicken dinner.
You can't look it up. No iPhones.
Look at my hands. Look at my hands.
It was me.
I'm gonna say Paul Arden.
No.
Whippet.
Oh, are we going to just keep going until we get it, or
Yep.
is that it?
Until-
Oh, Madams then.
No, she said it first.
Richard Sampson.
No.
Madams. Chris Hyming.
Yep.
Oh.
There we go.
Himbo.
Actually, number 2 doesn't exist.
No.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
I'm sure it may get filled one day.
I hope so.
Saving it for someone.
Shoddy.
Special.
Number 6. Who won the Australian Disc Golf Championship in 2012?
Whippet.
Cassie.
2012 was.
You can't think about it.
Yeah, it's all this bloody fast.
You have 10
Why not?
seconds.
It is. I don't even know.
Chicken dinner.
I don't even know. I'm sorry, Taryn.
Jarrath.
Now who's thinking?
Yeah, well, oh, you got time, didn't you? I want to say 12. Oh my God, Kirk Carlson.
Wrong.
Madams.
Andrew.
I've got a feeling actually Dave Bandy came second at this one because this 2012.
That wasn't the question.
I'm just working myself through it.
No,
Yeah.
extra thinking time here.
Oh.
I'm going to say it was.
Chicken dinner.
Why don't I? It's not even that long ago.
You're
Jarrath.
Lesma.
No.
No, whip it.
Oh.
No, 2012. That
Whip
was
it. Whip it.
Eastern Park.
Whip it. Whip it.
Why
Whip
don't I
it.
say
Cassie.
Whip it.
2009?
Whip it. Whip it.
Cassie.
It was at Drysdale.
Oh,
It was at Drysdale. Dave Bandy
Oh, no.
came second. You were right.
my bad.
No,
I know who it is now.
I know who it
We
is,
want to
yeah.
know who goes first, Cassie.
the winner of the 2012 ADG
See,
was.
Should have known this.
I have his name.
Madams.
Chicken dinner.
Do it again.
Madams.
Oh, come on. This is not.
Oh, mate, you are kidding me.
Like,
No.
Simon
where's-
Thiesy.
No.
You can't. Nah. Where's the. All right, start from now. Like, come on. It's
Okay,
A bit, it's a bit
okay.
broad.
Okay.
Split it.
So start from now.
Madams. Simon Thiesy.
And Jarrath, I will give you the bonus question. Where was it held?
Oh,
Drysdale Reserve.
There you go. There's your.
There you
Thank
go.
There needs
I
to be
couldn't
some
even think of-
structure here.
yeah.
Come on.
Okay. Who is known as Mr. Albatross?
Madams.
women.
Fergie.
Philo Brathwaite.
Come on.
Last question. What company is experimenting with electronic...
Electronic. I'm going to have to go with I don't know for this one, Mr. Robinson.
Ba-bow. Open up.
Whip it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say dynamic discs.
No.
Oh.
It's not. I don't think it's a big
Well,
manufacturer. It's after
actually-
V, I think. That's in
Actually,
my-
shall I give you the whole question? Because I was cut off.
My back in.
No.
So is it just open to Fergie now? Because
No,
how's this work?
everyone's all in. What company is experimenting with electronic tracking in discs?
Chicken dinner. Oh, I don't know their name. I'll pass.
All right.
Is it Velocity? Oh,
Open.
sorry.
Opening it up.
Madams. Velocity?
No.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
No idea.
I have no idea.
Have you got a backup question? We may not need it, I suppose, but
We may not need it.
No,
No.
we don't need it.
It was actually Tobu discs.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
There you go. Okay. we have a winner by 2 points. Cassie, you were on 1 point.
Sorry, Taryn.
Jarrath, you were on 3. And Fergie, you were on 5.
There you go, madams.
Sorry,
What?
Dan, win. We didn't win.
Dan, no win.
It's not fair.
I know. We're going to have to bring in some kind of
I think
buzz
we need
system.
actual buzzers. Yeah.
These boys are really competitive just over a quiz. Like, it was nasty.
It's high stakes. High stakes.
Well, everyone's
So-
getting nasty, let's be honest.
Madams actually wins a brand new hot pink River Pro.
Ooh.
Courtesy of Latitude. Well, me through Latitude. There you go, Madams. It's coming to you. We'll have to get it to him before he leaves
This weekend.
Yep.
He'll be here.
this weekend. All right. Well, that about sums it up. Thank you very much to everyone that joined us today and that commented, that was a part of the live giveaway, to Paul Arden from Fidget Mini Discs. Again, go and check them out. They're on Facebook. If you like the fidget spinners, you're going to love the Fidget Mini. If you're a disc golfer, check them out. Thank you, Cassie, for joining us as our special guest.
Thanks for having me.
And your inputs, definitely. And thanks to my other 2 hosts, Jazz and Fergs. Done well.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
It's always fun to have a chat with you boys. Until next time, get out there, get throwing. Thanks for listening to the Tee-Off.
Yes. Tee-off. Tee-off.